My friends, this is a great time to become a channel member. Every week now I'm posting uncensored videos exclusively for my channel members, along with custom emojis and live streams for members at the Arch-Villain level where you get to talk to me directly. Please consider supporting this channel by clicking the link in the video description and joining us in our fight to save pop culture. And also, check out our Patreon and Subscribe-Star pages for exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, including Harvey Cthulhu's insane podcasts, photos of my vast toy collection, and members at the Legionnaire level receive a signed photo, membership card, and certificate signed by me. You'll find the Patreon link in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, my friends, and now on to the video. My friends, do you remember back in 2023 at the laughably misnamed wake known as Star Wars Celebration? When Kathleen Kennedy trotted out poor Daisy Ridley like a trained poodle and made her jump through flaming hoops as audiences cheered the announcement of a new Rey movie? It was going to be all about the amazing Wonder Rey, the bestest ever, rebuilding the Jedi Order after Jake Skywalker tossed his lightsaber away and Ruin Johnson turned him into a nephew-sidal maniac, killed Admiral Akbar off-screen, and drove a stake through the beating heart of Star Wars. Rectally. Remember that announcement? Well, my friends, when Kathleen Kennedy made that announcement, it was bullshit. My sources told me she was not authorized to make that announcement. She did it contrary to Bob Iger's wishes in an attempt to generate buzz and force his hand, and now we know the announcement was bullshit. Why? Because of the state of the so-called production today, in October of 2024, when various sources like Variety are reporting that over a year later, there is still no script, and the writer they were using as a shield of credibility has severed ties with Lucasfilm and walked away from the project, just as Cameron Pashaw was predicting all this time, incidentally, over on his Patreon page. How could this happen, you ask? How could Kathleen Kennedy trot Daisy Ridley out on stage in a dog and pony show with juggling seals and the ghost of Charles Nelson Riley going ta-da in his most Lidsville way? Well, shit, folks. If nothing else, we can agree on the fact that Star Wars has a long history of peddling cinematic vaporware for publicity.
Yes, the mind boggles at the sheer number of announced projects that turned out to have a tenuous grasp on the concept of material existence, or what the man on the street would term bullshit. If only there were a catalogue of these numerous instances of balderdash we could reference.
I don't know about a catalog, O Skull of Calderon, but I do have an excellent account here of the many times Lucasfilm lied to us, or bullshitted us, or were just plain wrong about announced projects that somehow never materialized. In an article titled, "Disney Hits a Roadblock with Daisy Ridley's Star Wars Movie, the latest project it's had trouble getting off the ground," Insider lays it all out. Quote, "Disney has hit a roadblock with its next Star Wars sequel, which will star Daisy Ridley, after writer Stephen Knight left the project." Variety reported on Thursday that Knight, best known as the creator of the BBC drama Peaky Blinders, is no longer working on the film. The sequel, allegedly theoretically directed by Charmin Obaid-Chinoy, will reportedly follow Rey, Daisy Ridley, as she attempts to start a new Jedi Order after the events of Star Wars Episode 9, The Ruse of Soywoker. Knight joined the project in March 2023 after writers Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson also stepped away from the film. The new sequel is the latest cinematic project that Disney is yet to release. In November 2017, 1 month before Episode 8, The Last Jedi, arrived in theaters, Lucasfilm announced that director Ruin Johnson was working on a trilogy about entirely new characters separate from the Skywalker saga. Nearly 8 years later, that project hasn't been canceled, but neither is it in development, IGN reported, unquote.
Neither canceled nor in development. Seems like that's the case with a lot of this Star Wars nonsense, Doomcock. They've actually canceled or soft canceled or ghost canceled as many, maybe more Star Wars projects than they've ever actually made. With a track record like that, you'd have to be a bit naive to take them on their word about any Star Wars announcement, especially a Daisy Ridley movie, since the Star Wars sequel trilogy, sucked.
Absolutely correct, Harvey Cthulhu. The list of canceled or Schrödingerized projects continues. Quote, Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss also had a deal to create their own Jedi trilogy, but parted ways with Lucasfilm in 2019 per deadline. The same year, Marvel Studios chief Kevin Feige confirmed he was planning a Star Wars movie. However, in 2023, he said he was no longer working on the project. In 2020, Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins announced that she was working on a Star Wars fighter pilot movie titled Rogue Squadron. The project was then shelved last year, only to be revived in March. Sure it was. Jenkins said it was still in development, unquote.
Sure it is, Patty. Oh, sure it is. In short, Doomcock, you can't believe anything coming out of Lucasfilm's publicity department these days.
Or any days. No, you cannot, Harvey. Folks, Disney just does not understand Star Wars. They don't get it. They don't have any idea how it's supposed to work, which possibly explains why it has yet to recoup its $4 billion investment buying Star Wars in the first place, according to Forbes. So it doesn't surprise me in the least that Lucasfilm is spinning in circles, announcing this, greenlighting that, canceling everything, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. This kind of desperate confusion is what happens when you tell your existing fan base to go jump right square in the middle of Lake FU, hoping to attract a new audience of purple hair nose ringers. Good luck with that, Lucasfilm. They haven't shown up because they don't really go to movies. They have no money. And even if they did, they're too busy tweeting about social justice and fair trade coffee to actually watch anything. The real fans, the ones you kick to the curb, they used to buy merchandise, which is why you don't sell merchandise nearly as much anymore, because you kicked them to the curb. More money lost in pursuit of the agenda. I have no idea how much more they're going to lose before they give up, but I do know this. The Rey movie was a load of bullshit all along. Kennedy may find a way to jumpstart it, somehow finding a script that doesn't make people retch when they read it, but given Star Wars is a moribund franchise, any Rey movie will be DOA even if it ever arrives in theaters. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha.